Iran's Revolutionary Guard have reported targeting the Israeli military intelligence and the Mossad Operations Center. They announced a precise missile strike on the military intelligence headquarters in Tel Aviv. Iran's Revolutionary Guard expressed readiness for a prolonged war with Israel, stating that Iranian retaliation has not yet begun. They emphasized that ongoing military operations against vital Israeli targets will continue until complete eradication is achieved. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has said that while Iran is committed to diplomacy, its current focus is on maintaining deterrence in the face of aggression. During a joint call with the foreign ministers of France, Britain, Germany and the EU, Araghchi reaffirmed Tehran's stance, stating that Iran has never left the negotiating table, but emphasized that effective and deterrent confrontation now takes precedence. In a separate call with Italy's Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani, Araghchi criticized some European nations for what he described as a pro-Israel bias. The UK, France and Germany have all called for restraint in the region, while reiterating Israel's right to self-defense and expressing serious concern over Iran's nuclear activities. U.S. President Donald Trump has expressed his desire for a real end to the nuclear issue with Iran, insisting that the country must completely abandon its nuclear program. Speaking to reporters while departing Canada after the G7 summit, he anticipated that Israel would continue its attacks on Iran. Trump also mentioned the possibility of sending U.S. officials to meet with Iranian representatives, depending on future developments. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that Israel's military operations are dealing powerful blows to Iran's leadership and nuclear infrastructure, as he rejected any renewed diplomatic overtures from Tehran as disingenuous. Netanyahu said that Iran's willingness to negotiate was expected given the pressure it is facing. He reiterated that Israel's objective is to eliminate Iran's nuclear and ballistic missile capabilities, and that the country had already given diplomacy a chance during a 60-day window, during which Iran allegedly continued plotting Israel's destruction. Netanyahu also emphasized that Israel's campaign in Iran had weakened the regime's broader network of regional proxies. Commenting on reports of Israeli strikes against Iran's state broadcaster, Netanyahu said that it was part of an effort to expose the regime's censorship. Jordan's King Abdullah warned that Israel's recent attacks on Iran have dangerously widened regional conflict, calling it a threat to global stability. Speaking at the European Parliament, the monarch said that there is no clear limit to where the fighting could spread, adding that this is a threat to people everywhere. Ultimately, this conflict must end. His remarks come amid heightened tensions following Israeli strikes on Iranian targets, raising fears of broader confrontation. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas has urged urgent de-escalation amid rising tensions between Iran and Israel, stressing that diplomacy remains the only viable solution to prevent Tehran from developing a nuclear weapon. Speaking after talks with EU foreign ministers, Kallas said that the bloc is committed to playing its part. She also cited last week's report by the International Atomic Energy Agency, which found Iran in breach of its non-proliferation obligations. She confirmed recent talks with E3 ministers and Iran's foreign minister to explore ways to de-escalate the crisis. Kallas also backed moving forward with the oil price cap to counter rising energy prices and curb Russian revenues amid broader geopolitical instability.
That is why we also agree that
At least 51 Palestinians were killed and dozens more wounded when Israeli tank shellfire struck a crowd waiting for aid trucks in Khan Yunis, southern Gaza. Medical facilities, including Nasser Hospital, were overwhelmed with casualties, forcing staff to treat patients on the floor and in corridors due to lack of space. Medics said that the shelling targeted desperate Palestinians gathered along the main eastern road in Khan Yunis to receive humanitarian aid. Around 200 people were injured, with at least 20 in critical condition.